Hello, and welcome to our first edition of Principal's Point. It's Thursday, January 27th. I'm Emily Cholera, and joining me is Boardman High School Principal Mark Zura. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here, Emily.
Thank you. All right, we're heading into the second semester here at BHS, and we've had quite a few obstacles due to COVID, but I feel that sports and activities have been really keeping us busy this year. However, despite all these accomplishments, I feel like there's been a lot of planning and just changes that have gone into everything. So let's talk about what's been most challenging, especially being a first-year principal here at BHS. Can you please explain to us a little bit about the drawstring backpack rule? When is it going to be implemented, and what kind of it entails?
Well, certainly, and obviously security and safety are the most important things for our students, and what we look at is to make sure that we don't have large quantity of materials being brought into the building. The intent for bags is to obviously use your lockers and be able to plan out your day. We also increase the time between classes to 5 minutes to allow students to have extra time to use the restroom or visit their locker. And also, obviously, if there's any type of evacuation where we have to exit the building in a quick manner, that students aren't tripping over backpacks that are in the aisles and those sort of things. So we just want to make sure that students are carrying minimal items to class, and if they do bring a drawstring bag or something small to class, that they can tuck it underneath their desk, and that way the aisles are all clear. It also helps our teachers to be able to get around the classroom a little bit easier too. So that really wasn't a change. It was just kind of an enhancement. When I was an assistant principal here, the students weren't allowed to have any type of bag whatsoever other than a purse if they were carrying items. That's one thing that Mrs. Fernback looked at with COVID. She didn't want students congregating at lockers, and she thought, well, how can I limit the locker loitering? And she thought, well, we'll let kids have backpacks, and that way they won't visit their lockers. But just now that COVID is, hopefully we're moving through that phase, we want to get back to kind of having students using their lockers again and making sure that we keep the aisles safe and we limit the amount of goods that are being carried around the building.
All right, and just some of the confusion around waiver days and testing. Can you tell us why this is necessary?
Yeah, certainly. Well, one of the things that we looked at is a way to progress monitor our students in grades 9 and 10. And unfortunately for the juniors and seniors, you've already taken your ACT your junior year, and you're looking at applying for colleges. But for our freshmen and sophomores, we have a progress monitoring tool. It's called MAP, NWEA, and what it does is it'll track your academic progress up against national norms. And it'll show what areas of the content that you're really good in and also areas of the content that you're struggling in. And then teachers can target the instruction to hit those weak areas. And then it'll also provide some projections for your end of course exams and also your ACT. So we're really excited about that new tool. It's used in other districts. We used it in Poland, and I brought it here when I came back from Poland. And I think that it'll really help the students to have a good indicator of where their strengths are and where their weaknesses are. So it's really a neat thing. And I think some of the confusion obviously is with the weather delays. But we want to, it's hopefully give also some juniors and seniors some time to sleep in a little bit too, which is kind of nice and a byproduct of this whole testing scheme. So we're proud of that.
All right, perfect. And I know there are a few new programs here at Boardman. And what kind of do they provide, such as like the YSU microengineering program? What do they provide, and what is the pool towards them?
The new programs that we have in the building are just to enhance, what we already have, but also to help students to find a niche that really there's a demand for. And I think with the new battery plant that's coming at Lordstown, there's a lot of opportunities locally for students that, students always think about, well, what's the first thing I'm going to do? I got to get out of here to go to college. I got to get out of here to get a job somewhere and move to a bigger city or a coastal area. But there are opportunities that are close to home. And I think that's important too, because we want to build those connections to try to keep some of our best students here locally and not having them feel that they have to move, they have to get out of the area. But obviously, if students can get a great paying job with some training from YSU and through that microengineering program, then they'll choose to keep their family here and hopefully in town and in Boardman, so then we can have the next generation of Spartans. So that's part of the whole idea. Obviously, losing GM Lordstown was a huge hit to our area. A lot of plants have left that provided really good jobs for families, and we now have to kind of rebuild after that process. So I'm excited about that opportunity. So it's been a great program, and we're excited about adding AP US History next year to our schedule. That's huge. We got a donation actually to pay for one of our teachers to get trained, and she's going to be flying out to Arizona this summer to get the certification and to go through that process. And that's another course that will help students to get some more college credit while they're in high school. So there's a lot of neat things happening. I'm really excited about these changes. So.
All right. great.
It's awesome.
Yeah. And just through like this discussion alone, there's just been so many exciting things coming this year. And this being your first year, what are some of the highlights you found as a principal at Boardman High School?
The most exciting thing for me has been able to see students kind of come out of the COVID restrictions a little bit and to be in the student sections, to be at games, cheering on classmates and peers. That's been incredible. And those are the memories I had as an assistant principal when I was here before, being part of that. And so going through COVID and seeing what you guys went through, the class of 2020, obviously the class of 2021, and this year's class too, just looking at what you guys have had to go through, it's been really rough. So I think that seeing you guys be able to do normal high school activities, go to dances, have play productions, going to concerts, all those things that are important, having those things back and being part of that's been really exciting. And I'm just thrilled about our student sections, our students that are involved and participating in so many levels. Obviously being in the play, that was very that was tough. I had a very minor role, but I had no idea what went on behind the curtain. So when I recognized what a big production that was and all the time and effort that the students put in, it was just incredible, and the feedback was tremendous from the audience. So it's been a great experience. We have great students here, and I think part of my excitement for being back is just to see kind of how things were pre-COVID and now bringing us out of COVID and moving forward and just trying to make it even better for the students. That's my goal.
Of course, yeah. And just speaking of all those events and activities that have been going on previously, what are some of the upcoming events that people should be aware of?
Okay, well, we have Cinderella, obviously, which is coming up pretty soon. That's going to be a really, really good production. A lot of time and work is going into that. We also have senior night tonight, actually, for swim. So we're excited about. The boys and girls are doing fantastic. We have bowling coming up next Monday. Their senior night, the boys bowling team actually just knocked off Canfield. They were undefeated. There's just so many really, really neat things going on, and we're excited, obviously, with Sweethearts coming up as well, that the students will be able to have a traditional Sweethearts dance like they always have previously. We're bringing that back too. So there's a lot of neat things happening. We're excited.
Oh, that's awesome. Very excited. All right, well, thank you so much for taking part in this year's first Principal's Point. We appreciate your time.
Oh, anytime. It's great to be here. Nice job.
Thank you. I'm Emily Cholera for BSTN. Stay healthy, Spartans.